Have you ever wanted to add an image to a document, but you weren't sure which type to choose? The wide variety of imaging software available today means that there's also a wide variety of file types. This is because each software program uses different code to run it, and each image type has a different purpose. Knowing the basic image file types can help you determine which file to choose in which scenario. In this video, we're going to focus on image files, which are an important part of our computing experience. They add visual interest to our documents and websites, entertain us on social media, they can be a key part of our company's marketing and branding, or they might just bring us joy when we print, frame, and display them on the walls of our home. There are loads of software programs that can work with image files. Too many to list here, in fact. Some software is designed to include photos into the work it does, such as when you add images to your Word documents. And some software is designed to create or manipulate image files, such as Adobe Photoshop, which was used to create this cool poster of a football player. Understanding the various types of image files will help you understand how and when to use them, and which software they are compatible with. There's a lot to learn, but you don't need to worry about taking notes as you watch. There's a link in the description below where you'll find a handy printable reference sheet with all the information contained in this video. Let's get started. Let's start with an older file called a bitmap. Its file extension is .bmp. Bitmaps are low-resolution graphics made of bits or dots of information grouped together. They usually look like they were drawn with squares on graph paper. Bitmaps can be added to Word documents or Excel spreadsheets or even web pages, or they can be manipulated with Photoshop, but generally they aren't used as often today because of their lack of detail. They often look dated or even grainy, as you can see in this bitmap image of a classic video game. What makes them look grainy or pixelated is their low resolution. Image resolution is the detail an image holds, and it's often measured in dots per inch or DPI. More dots per inch means a higher resolution, which means more image detail. Bitmaps have very low numbers of dots per inch. Low resolution translates to smaller file sizes. Bitmap graphics do not take up much storage space, but bitmaps also do not support transparency. This means that you cannot have a clear background on a bitmap image. Let me demonstrate. If I used this star bitmap image on a colored background, you'll notice that there's a white box surrounding the star. That box cannot be removed from a bitmap image and treated as if it were transparent, like glass. There is always a colored background in a bitmap image, even if it's white, black, or if it matches the background color it's placed on. The next file type is the JPEG file. It's the most common image format used in digital cameras, different computer operating systems, and on the internet. This file extension stands for Joint Photographic Experts Group format. And when you take a photo with a digital camera or your cell phone, you're usually creating a JPEG file. It's a type of bitmap format that allows for adjustment to compression settings. That just means that you can determine your own balance between storage size and image quality. JPEGs vary greatly in resolution, from 72 dots per inch for optimal screen viewing to 300 dots per inch or even more for high-quality printing. Since we are talking about resolution with JPEG files, it's important to mention the term megapixels in relation to digital cameras. With bitmaps, we mention bits of information grouped together, and that's true for JPEG files as well. Each dot of information in a JPEG is usually referred to as a pixel. A megapixel is a group of 1 million pixels. An 8 megapixel camera's sensor captures about 8 million pixels per square inch, and more megapixels generally means higher resolution images are captured. With that higher megapixel rating comes a higher price tag. So if you're thinking about buying a digital camera or upgrading your cell phone, there are resources online that will help you determine the best megapixel rating to purchase based on your photography and photo printing needs. Paying for more megapixels isn't always necessary or desirable. Keep in mind, more megapixels also means larger file sizes when storing your photos. Complicating the JPEG a little bit is the fact that it is a format that's not only used for photographs. It can be used to turn computer-generated graphics into a common format, like this simple race car illustration or this more detailed and realistic one. Computer-generated illustrated images, like the blue and yellow race cars, are often referred to as clip art. They are more cartoonish in appearance than true photographs. The JPEG file is truly the most utilitarian of all the file types. However, it does not support transparency. So the race car clip art images you see here actually have white backgrounds behind them, not transparent. When you need an image with a transparent background, you want to choose a PNG format, which stands for Portable Network Graphic. It's commonly used for web graphics and digital photographs, as well as other images with transparent backgrounds. It is also a type of raster format, which means it's pixel-based, like the bitmap and the JPEG. Like the JPEG file, images can be photographic or clip art style. The key difference is that PNG files can have transparent backgrounds if you wish. Another type of image file you may have heard about is the GIF, or Graphics Interchange Format. Now, it is silly, but people all around the world argue over the pronunciation of this one. Is it GIF or GIF? Well, Steve Wilhite is the man who created the format in 1987. He himself states that it is pronounced as GIF, but alas, the debate continues. Regardless of how you say it, GIF files are not used for print purposes due to their animated nature. They are used online on websites or on social media sites and can also be used in PowerPoint presentations and movies. They can have solid backgrounds such as the bird or transparent backgrounds like the dancing banana. They can also vary in resolution and quality as well. So as Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck argue over the pronunciation of GIF, you might notice that their image quality is grainy compared to the bird or the banana. Bitmaps, JPEGs, PNGs, and GIFs are all raster types of images, meaning that they are pixel-based. They can be difficult to enlarge without manipulating them with photo editing software like Photoshop. If you enlarge a raster type image without changing its resolution, or dots per inch, it will lose quality and look blurry or pixelated. This is because we are stretching the pixels out over a larger area, thus making them look less sharp. For example, these apples look nice at this very small size, but when I enlarge them, you can see that they become blurry and look like they are made of squares, like the bitmap. Now you may be wondering, how do printers make artwork for billboard signs along our highways or for 18-wheeler delivery trucks? Well, one answer is by using massively large raster files, but that isn't the most effective way. Files of that size are difficult to store and to send to the printer. The better answer is by using vector images. A vector file is an image that can be made infinitely large or small without losing its quality. This is possible because vector images use complex calculations of mathematical ratios instead of pixels or dots. Common vector file types include Adobe Illustrator, .ai, encapsulated postscripts, .eps, or scalable vector graphics, .svg files. You'll usually need a special software program to open or edit or even just use a vector file. Here's how vectors work. This image of the file folder is a vector image. It was saved as a PNG format with a transparent background so that I could show it to you here in this video. When you view it in Adobe Illustrator, however, which is a vector editing software, you can see dark blue spots called anchors at various locations around the image. Those dark blue dots have Bezier handles attached to them that allow for you to adjust the curvature of any lines. The software calculates the mathematical ratios of the distances between the different anchor points and accounts for the angles created by the Bezier curves to create a scalable graphic image that stays sharp no matter how large you make it. Here are some common situations where you would use image files in day-to-day business settings, and some suggestions for the best file types to use. If you're inserting a photo into a Word document, a bitmap, JPEG, or PNG should all work perfectly for you. Just be sure the image resolution is high enough that the photo doesn't look grainy when you insert it into your file. If you'd like to add an animated diagram to your website, you'll use a GIF. If you're looking to create screen-printed company t-shirts, you'll use a vector file. And that may seem strange because we said vectors are hugely scalable, but the screen printing company has a machine that will follow the lines that are calculated in those mathematical ratios and cut out your logo from the screens used to make your t-shirts. They almost always use vector files, but check with your company. They may be able to accept a different file type. You want to add your logo to an invoice using Excel, you'll go ahead and use a bitmap, JPEG, or a PNG. If you're looking to print large banners for a marketing event, that's the scalable vectors. If you'd like to post an animated graphic to your social media celebrating a national holiday, use a GIF. Remember, the GIFs are the animated graphics. If you'd like to add your logo onto your website, which has a colored page background, you'll want to use a PNG. PNG files support transparency, so the colored page background of your website would surround your logo nicely. Now, if you are okay with there being a white box around your logo, a bitmap or JPEG could work for you in this situation. However, PNG is best. If you're looking to print a poster-sized photograph of the first building your company used as its headquarters, you'll want to use a JPEG. Be sure your file is at least 300 dots per inch to ensure a high-quality print. Thank you for exploring image file types and terminology with me today. Feel free to pause the video here to compare the features and uses of various image file types. Remember, there is also a link to a handy printable reference sheet in the description as well. If you're working on a project and you aren't sure which image file is best for your needs, reach out to our digital literacy educator for assistance. Call 518-272-4210 or visit us online at ccerensselaer.org.